Hey everyone, it's Stori here, and this is RP Weekly. So first up, for notable blogs, we have CHWRP, and I couldn't quite figure out what the CHW was for, but it is a roleplay that's set in Rosewood, Illinois, where characters are reincarnations of 80s and 90s pop culture characters, such as Ferris Bueller or Clueless or The Heathers, all of it. Next, we have Wonderland's RPG, which, as you can guess from the title, is an AU based on Alice in Wonderland, both the books and the movies by Tim Burton. It is a modern take on the whole premise of Alice in Wonderland, just with thriller and horror aspects to it. We have Icons Inspo, and this is an RPH that obviously makes icons, but they're not just for face claims, they also have aesthetic ones. So if you want, I believe I saw men of color or women of color, so aesthetically like that. Next we have Source RPH, and this has a ton of resources and amazing themes of their own creation. It's a great blog just to go on if you want to browse or if you need something and you maybe want to stock up on something for the future. I spent about an hour going through their blog, so I really recommend them. Next we have Misguided Ghosts RP, and this is a roleplay where the ghosts of those who have died come back and start walking and living among the living. It's set in Bentley, and it's a supernatural and horror themed roleplay. Next we have an RPH that goes by SGomez. Obviously their mascot is Selena Gomez. They offer a lot of different resources and do a lot of different things, from manips to guides and master lists. And now we have Heroes and Villains RPG, and this roleplay is set 60 years after a government-sanctioned experiment called the Super Initiative, and the scorned and haunted mutants are coming out of the shadows. Next we have RP GIF. They have a lot of underused POC GIF hunts in the directory, and they also offer really thorough answers to asks that they get, and they just seem like really nice people, so feel free to send them a message or take a look at their blog. And then finally we have Underused Helpers, and this is a group of 12 helpers who obviously find and create resources for underused face claims. And on to RP Trends. The first one that I'm going to name is Aesthetics for Promos, and I personally use this. I've had co-admins make them before too. I think they're a really creative way to show more than just one image of what your roleplay is about, or if you want to. I know I'm doing one where it's by races, and so it just encompasses all that specific magical race is about. And I really, really love them. They're cool to look at. It's nice to see what kind of things that the admins can come up with, and see if and it's a great way to see if the plot is something that you want to join as well. And secondly, this is something that I've noticed more recently. It's been around for quite some time. It's character theft. It's not a happy topic. I've never had it happen to myself. People have always asked permission to use a character for an indie blog. But it's more common than I think the community shows that it is. It's when you take a person's creative product, and taking that creative product, even if it is just a roleplay character, is not okay, and doing so is not cool. If you want to play that character, RP them in the roleplay, or write your own. That doesn't mean you can't use that same face claim, it just means you can't copy and paste that bio and that information, because it's not yours. And that's why I think a lot more roleplay blogs have been doing Creative Commons patenting. And you can see that usually if you scroll the way down to the bottom and to the left, is this left for you? This is left, I think, for you guys. On the left, there's a bunch of information, usually links to that registered patent. And it's unfortunately something that admins have had to do lately, because people continually are assholes and taking their intellectual property. Because that's what it is. That's what role-playing ends up being if you really think about it. Because the person creates it, and they choose it. That's why a lot of people have disclaimers now also. When they say, if it's, say, Harry Potter roleplay, they put a disclaimer. None of that is theirs except for certain parts, perhaps different plot than the characters have. So basically, don't be a dick and don't do it. And now we're going to move on to favorite faces. So first up, we have Shin Hae-jung, and she's from a South Korean all-girls singing group, AOA. And then we have Kim Ki-bum, and he is a K-pop singer from Super Junior and SM Town, and he's also done some acting as well. And as always, and I'm sure you all have been waiting for, the goodie bag, which is all below with all the links for all the blogs also that I have mentioned below. Just some things to mention. There are a trigger tagging guide, which I personally needed once before. And I think it really shows and explains everything, so I really recommend looking at that. And then a guide to indie and one-by-one role-playing. Indie role-playing is very confusing to me and intimidating to me, so I think that this specific guide will really help some people who also feel the same way. There's PSDs, there's PNG packs, there's some themes in there. Really recommend looking. And so I hope you have a great end of week, beginning of week, whatever time zone you're in. My name is Stori, and this is RP Weekly.